On September 28, 1989, the International Astronautical Federation adopted a text. It contained fewer than 10 articles. It dictated the required conduct if an extraterrestrial signal were confirmed. Verification. Notification. International response. Everything was written down. It was published in *Acta Astronautica Star. It was signed by astronomers from around the world. This document exists. It is available for consultation. 33 years later, no nation has ratified it. No space agency has officially adopted it. If a signal arrived tomorrow, who would enforce these rules? The idea for a protocol began in the 1970s. This was during the rise of SETI research. In 1979, the International Astronautical Federation created the permanent SETI Committee. Its goal was to coordinate scientists in the event of a detection. For 10 years, a small working group labored. Michael Michaud led this effort. He was an American diplomat and amateur astronomer. Figures like Frank Drake, John Billingham, and Nikolai Kardashev worked alongside him. On September 28, 1989, the text was finalized. It was presented at the 40th IAA Congress in Malaga. The protocol established clear principles. Any detection must be verified by an independent observatory. This must be communicated to the UN Secretary-General and the International Astronomical Union. No response could be sent without international consultation. It was co-signed by the International Institute of Space Law and the Committee on Space Research. It was published in *Acta Astronautica Star. It became the unofficial reference for the SETI community. But the very next year, a document from the U.S. Department of State, now declassified, revealed the true status. That status is vastly different from what people imagine. Today, when you question space agencies or major scientific institutions, the narrative is reassuring. They claim protocols exist. In 2018, during a public forum, NASA stated that the international community had established procedures to manage a major discovery. SETI researchers confirm the IAA protocol is followed by all. There is immediate transparency. There is cross-verification. There is notification to the UN. The story is coherent. It is smooth. It paints the picture of a prepared world, a finely tuned system. They tell us everything is in place. They claim scientists are responsible. They claim there is nothing to fear. But this narrative omits a vital detail. A detail that changes everything. This protocol, whose existence they boast about, is voluntary. It binds no one. No government signed it. No UN resolution makes it binding. So what remains of this beautiful mechanism when you scratch the surface? The official story claims protocols exist. They are applied by space agencies. But the documents tell a different story. In 2005, the NASA Inspector General published an audit. The finding was clear: the agency itself never formally adopted the protocol. Yet, it sits on the SETI committee. It participates in the discussions. But it took no written commitment. The audit recommended that leadership take a position before an incident occurred. No public action followed. That is the second contradiction. SETI scientists assert the protocol demands immediate transparency. Articles 3 and 4 of the 1989 version are very clear. Yet, the history of detections shows something else. In 1977, the famous WOW signal was captured. It never received an official notification to the UN. Its discoverer, Jerry Ehrman, would later testify that no one followed the rules. In 2015, the Star Trek team waited several months before releasing their data publicly. The protocol therefore has no legal force, not even for its signatories. So what is the purpose of a text that no one applies, no one knows, and that governments refuse to endorse? The answer might be buried in the archives of the CIA. On March 16, 1992, the CIA finalized an internal monograph. The title was *The Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, Implications for the Intelligence Community*. The document number is CIA RDP 97-00771R000100150001-4. For 23 years, this file remained classified. It did not see the light of day until 2015. In this report, the CIA cites the SETI Protocol as the only existing framework for managing information leaks following a detection. The direction of American intelligence knew this text existed. They analyzed it. But they never officially supported it. This finding appears in a note from the Department of State, dated March 15, 1990. The author recommends against endorsing the text. The intent is clear. Let the astronomers follow their own rules, but do not tie the hands of the government. In 2005, an audit by the NASA Inspector General confirmed the agency's lack of formal adoption. The finding is stark. NASA participates in the SETI committee. Yet, the agency made no official commitment. The report recommended that leadership take a position before any incident occurred. No public action followed. That is the second contradiction. These three documents, the CIA monograph, the State Department note, the NASA audit, form a clear pattern. They leave no doubt. The American state apparatus knows the protocol. It studies it. It refuses to acknowledge it. Why this extreme caution regarding such a technical text? These documents suggest the problem is not technical. It is political. The SETI Protocol imposes constraints. It demands notification to the United Nations. It forbids unilateral response. It mandates total transparency. These are rules that would limit a state's freedom of action in the face of a discovery with colossal military, economic, and strategic implications. If a signal arrives tomorrow, who holds the information first? Military radar? A NSA antenna? The protocol demands that any detection be made public immediately. But no binding text can guarantee this. The silence of the nations is therefore not negligence. It is a deliberate choice. In 1992, the CIA anticipated this scenario: uncontrolled leaks. A race for interpretation. Political manipulation. The protocol, designed by astronomers, was never designed to survive a real crisis. It was allowed to live within the insulated world of academic conferences. It was harmless, invisible, and most importantly, inapplicable. This is not the first time a carefully crafted international framework remains in the shadows of governments. There are other texts, on other subjects, that chancelleries prefer not to discuss. In 2023, the Breakthrough Listen project detects the BLC's 1 signal. It is quickly attributed to terrestrial interference. Yet, for several months, the team followed an internal protocol similar to the SETI framework. The data was eventually released publicly. Transparency worked in this specific instance. But the legal debate did not advance. The United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs, UNOSA, regularly holds meetings on space threats, debris, asteroids, militarization. The post-detection protocol is never mentioned in these discussions. Meanwhile, detection methods are exploding. The Vera Rubin telescope, the SKA network, machine learning algorithms. Humanity has never been closer to an answer to the fundamental question. And never has the legal vacuum been so vast. A committee of volunteer astronomers holds the only existing text. While the states look away, another file remains open, the The private actors, SpaceX, Blue Origin, are bound by no protocol. If one of them captures a signal, nothing obligates them to follow any rule. The 1989 framework was not designed for them. So, who would enforce these rules if a signal were confirmed tomorrow? The answer is no one. The protocol exists, but it holds no force. It rests on the goodwill of scientists, on principles that carry no legal obligation. In the meantime, governments maintain silence. Space agencies avoid making statements. And the military, perhaps, prepare their own procedures. The 1989 text is a formidable tool. But into whose hands will the first proof of extraterrestrial life fall? And will that person follow the rules, or the interests of those who pay them? The protocol binds no one. What the headquarters prepare in secret is our next investigation.